Yo, what up, Lucid Crew? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time watching, I'm Lucid Rob, and today we're going to look at videos from all over the internet that you guys send me to try to figure out what's real, what's fake, what the hell's going on in the world. If you like what you see, consider liking, subscribing, sharing the video, leave some comments, and let's get into it.
What the? Alright, Dior talk. We need to have a talk. So, this was released today. This is called Waldo 3. And what it is an AI system that you are able to install onto, say, something that could fly in the sky, or probably just a regular camera system as well. And it's called Waldo, the Whereabouts Ascertainment for Low-Lying Detectable Objects. And what it's able to do is detect different objects, like light vehicles, persons, buildings, utility poles, boats, bikes, containers, trucks, gas tanks, diggers, solar panels, buses, probably more, and probably more to come. But I just want to put this out here because this technology is available right now. It has been available. And this is just the latest version that was released today, January 2nd, 2025. And people are currently using it for, they have here listed, disaster recovery, monitoring wildlife sanctuaries, occupancy calculation, monitoring infrastructure, construction site monitoring, traffic flow management, crowd counting, some fun AI art applications, drone safety, avoiding people / cars on the ground, and lots of other fun stuff, ... So I'm just putting it out here. This is for educational purposes only, obviously. But this is software you can actually download. It's open source. You can download it. You can play around with it. And so this is public-facing software that's available. Public-facing. So I just want to let you guys know that this is going on with possible things that are above us.
Oh, well, it's a great thing that can't be abused, huh? Woohoo! Hell yeah, that's good. That's great. That's great for us. Yeah. So literally everybody has the opportunity to monitor everybody and everything they're doing all the time. Well, that's good because there's definitely no negatives that could go on using that, right? No, nothing at all.
According to the Anunnaki, human beings were created in a way that genetically we were supposed to become more superior than them. They didn't know this was going to happen. And Lil was angry at his brother Enki because Enki put a little extra in the sauce. And he said that the mysteries to unlock the secrets of the universe is hidden within our bodies, and that we ourselves can rise to be even higher than them. This was a major thing to be putting into text like this. And I believe that because when I started studying DNA, that took me into a whole DNA study. I discovered this scientist called George Church. And he created this ebook that he was able to take from a digital format, and he was able to download it onto 1 drop, 1 gram of DNA, a digital book, convert it from zeros and ones into A's, T's, and G's, read, write, put it on the DNA. Then he said, wow, this is incredible. DNA can store information in a volume. Then he said, okay, this is what we're going to do. Let's replicate this book. So he replicated the book 80 billion times on 1 gram of DNA. So then he said, let's see if we can get it back. So he converted, he created a read write again. He converted it from A's, T's, and G's back to zeros and ones and uploaded it back to the server. So now he knows that DNA can upload and download information. Crazy.
Whoa.
So now they said, okay, well, how much data can be stored on 1 drop? Over 433 petabytes of data. A petabyte is 1,000 terabytes. Yeah, so they said,
insane.
Now they discovered recently on holmium atoms, scientists have now written information, data onto an individual holmium atom. And they discovered that we can store information. They can read write directly onto the surface of an actual atom.
Oh my
Now,
God.
think about that for a second.
Oh my God.
So they're saying that a human body can store 13.5 billion years or roughly of data, which is roughly around the time they believe the universe probably exists. So that myth of Adapa text could be accurate. The secrets of the universe is probably encoded into our body because we're just recycled atoms.
Rob, Bro, there's another Billy Carson video. Oh, he's a scammer. He's a con artist. Yeah, shut up. He probably is. He probably is. But you know what? Videos are fun. Those videos are fun. I'm not going to stop watching them. If you guys send them to me, I'm going to watch them. That's what I do here. So we're in a simulation then. We're in a massive computer-generated simulation, one that we cannot fathom. Probably some quantum computing, some quantum program that allows us to exist within some aliens video game console. And that's why just a little bit of our DNA can store so much data. That's why an atom can store so much data. I mean, am I off? Does that make sense? Are there any software engineers in here? Any IT guys that can kind of try to, understand what I'm saying, try to basically narrow it down to it making sense? Because, I don't know, I'm not a computer guy. I'm a guy on the computer, and if you're watching on your phone right now, I'm a guy on a phone too. But yeah, sweet. Simulation, Billy Carson, Anunnaki. Sick, bro. Sick.
The Great Wall of China isn't just a wall, it's a warning. Think about it. 13,171 miles long. Let me put that in perspective. Crossing the U.S. coast to coast is about 3,000 miles. Now multiply that by 4, and then add 1,000 miles. That's how massive this wall is. Now the question is, who builds something that massive for centuries just to keep a few nomads out? Here is where things get strange. They started building it in 220 BC, over 2,000 years ago. Back then, resources were scarce. Manpower was everything. So ask yourself, what could have scared them so badly they spent more than 1,000 years constructing this monster of a wall? But here's the twist. Take a closer look. The steep side of the wall, the side designed to stop invaders, it's facing China. Yeah, the defenses weren't built to keep people out. They were built to keep something in. And that brings us to the theory of the Tartarian Empire. They say Tartaria built the wall, not the Chinese. And the purpose wasn't to protect. It was to contain, to lock away something so dangerous, so terrifying, that it could threaten the entire empire. That's strange, right? What was the wall really holding back? Or worse, who?
This is just a theory, not a fact.
Bro, come on, bro. Chinese people aren't that bad. You ain't got to call them beasts. That is a crazy concept, though. I mean, the Great Wall of China is massive. It's like unbelievably massive. And I think, like, along with the steep part of the wall facing inward toward China, that I think there are also defense holes, like arrow holes, where people stick their crossbows through and stuff, actually facing in toward China too. Just crazy. But maybe, I don't know how this works, but if it's that old, maybe let's say the wind has just blown enough rock and dirt and stuff on that side of the wall blowing toward China to where it's just kind of built up and made that side no longer the steep side. It's all crazy. I don't know anything about it. It's really interesting though. Thank you, computer generated man in my computer screen that told me that story. That was generated by AI. Thank you so much for that.
The Earth is flat, stationary, and enclosed by a glass dome known as the firmament, which contains the sun, moon, and stars, all of which move, not the Earth. Above and below are waters. This isn't a conspiracy. If satellites were really in space, why would we need communication towers in the middle of the ocean? A compass only functions properly on a flat surface to differentiate between north, east, south, and west. Water always stays level and contained, with the Arctic Circle and Antarctica acting as barriers that hold the oceans in. The solid glass dome or firmament keeps the air inside, creating a sealed, airtight environment. The Earth doesn't spin at millions of miles per hour like a ball. The sounds of thunder booms are produced when solid objects shift. Even world leaders know this truth, as shown by the flat Earth map on the UN logo. Once again, it's the sun, moon, and stars that rotate from east to west, not the Earth. The people who taught you that the Earth is a globe are fully aware of and believe in the flat, enclosed system we all live in and that no one can leave. We're told that we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting the sun in the heliocentric model at 66,600 miles per hour. On top of that, we're supposedly chasing the sun through space at nearly 500,000 miles per hour. According to this model, we're spiraling through an infinite universe, never in the same place twice. Now consider the Georgia Guidestones, which had a small hole drilled through one of the central stones. If you looked through that hole, you would always see Polaris, the North Star. But how could we be moving in so many directions, traveling vast distances, and yet that star remains perfectly aligned in the hole? It should shift out of sight constantly, yet it stayed in place for 40 years until one day someone blew up the monument. They say Earth spins eastward at 1,600 kilometers per hour at the equator. So here's a question. How does a plane flying eastward at just 800 kilometers per hour reach its destination? Shouldn't the ground be moving too fast for the plane to catch up? And what about landing? Imagine trying to land a plane safely on a runway that's supposedly zipping along at 1,600 kilometers per hour. Sounds risky, doesn't it? The official explanation is that Earth's atmosphere is stuck to the planet, held by gravity despite the vacuum of space above it. But think about this. If Earth were a spinning ball, pilots would constantly need to adjust for the curve. At 800 kilometers per hour, a plane would have to lower its nose by around 850 meters per minute to stay on course with Earth's curvature. Otherwise, it would be flying higher and higher, reaching about 50,000 meters in just an hour. Yet pilots don't make these constant adjustments. Once they reach cruising altitude, they level off and maintain a steady course until it's time to descend. No constant corrections for Earth's curve, just a straight level flight path. Doesn't that raise questions? If Earth were really spinning and curving, wouldn't we see constant course corrections? But we don't. It's a compelling clue that maybe things aren't what we've been taught.
Here's the thing. I think if the powers that be, right, were trying to hide the fact that the Earth was flat from us, they could come up with a much easier lie than all this space shit that is just like out of control, flying through space, just expansion, Big Bang, Van Allen radiation belt. Like, there could be it would be so much easier just to be like, yeah, the Earth's flat. There's nothing else out there outside of this. And I don't think they're trying to like hide it because they're trying to make us not believe the Bible. I don't think that's a very appealing theory for me. I can see there being other continents that they're not telling us about based on flight patterns and stuff like that. There's also a lot of no-fly zones. And I know they also have to be strategic about not flying over other countries' fly zones, like we have territories and stuff. And a lot of it probably has to do with that, unless there are some air traffic controllers in here that can verify that. That's just my assumption. But also, it is the dumbest thing in the world to me, and I'm sorry if you believe this. Actually, I'm not. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you if you believe this, but the Earth rotating and us being in a plane not being able to keep up with the rotation of the Earth is dumb. I mean, you can literally ride your skateboard and jump off, just jump straight up, and you're going to follow your skateboard and hopefully land back on your skateboard. If you're moving at X amount of miles per hour and you jump, your body doesn't stop. The momentum doesn't go away. And it keeps moving. You're not going to be like, oh, oops, whoops, I'm fucked, right? You're going to go with it. So in this case, with the atmosphere keeping all of us basically together and in place, along with the rotation of the Earth, and also protecting us from like the winds, whatnot, from like the 3,000 miles per hour rotation, that's what allows us to basically keep traveling with it. So it doesn't feel like we're moving at 3,000 miles per hour. So that's the gist of it anyway.
Apparently there is some type of mothership coming right towards Earth. So, in case anyone's not familiar with the story, this actually came out from someone that I've had on the show before, Pavel, who does a really good job with his own podcast as well. And he was on the Vetted podcast with Patrick, who is a friend of the show here. And they were actually talking with a couple of other people about this object that supposedly being reported by NASA scientists as coming toward Earth, a large object that seems to be under some type of intelligent control. So the question here, Anthony, is, are you getting reports about this object, and is something actually coming toward Earth that seems to be under intelligent control?
Yeah, so there are a lot of variables when you're talking deep space, interstellar space. Different things that can react or act with the trajectory of an object moving through it, different gravitational pulls from different systems. The claims made is that this object has adjusted trajectory in a way that would not make sense, i.e. it didn't pass near a large object with a gravitational pull. So yes, that is curious. The other thing is the change in acceleration. Something that is moving through interstellar space with a known velocity. There are only a few things that would affect the speed, the acceleration or deceleration and the change in trajectory. And the thing that is raising people's eyebrows is this object is not near those things that would explain a change in direction and a change in velocity. What the object is, being that NASA is not the part of the government that I work for, nor is Space Force or, Air Force for that matter. I don't know. There are a lot of claims of what it could be. I think that it falls again into the category of educated speculation. It's definitely there. It's definitely doing what it's doing. And if someone knows more about it, they're not talking. It's not what would fall under the plate of concern for what me and my team would look at or worry about. But I do know that A, it is an object, B, it is heading our direction. I don't know if it's on a collision course with Earth, but it's coming to our neighborhood for sure, and it is changing trajectory or has changed trajectory in the past, and it has also altered its speed. So
all those things are true.
All those things are true, and it's done it in a way that isn't easily explainable.
What's with all this like random shit like coming into our solar system and like flying toward us like that? What was it Manuma Numa, the rock that they named after like the Hawaiian name? Numa e Maya he. That's not what it was called, but I butchered that name. But yeah, there's supposedly a lot of stuff flying toward us right now. There's like cube-shaped crafts coming toward us. There's this thing coming toward us. There's just a ton of stuff, intelligent things coming from space, dude. Here's the thing. I hope the extraterrestrials are coming here like an armada. Now, I don't want them to like take over, obviously I don't want them to like destroy the Earth or like rob us of all our resources or enslave us or anything. I would much rather have real aliens than Project Bluebeam, fake aliens. 100%.
Did you know that before you were born you made a pact called the soul contract? This contract outlines the journey of your life with its challenges and relationships. These soul contracts are stored in the Akashic Records, a cosmic library that holds everything that has happened, is happening, and will happen. Imagine a complete blueprint of your life, designed with the wisdom of your higher self. A plan that details all the lessons you need to learn, the people you will meet, and the experiences you must have to fulfill your soul's purpose. But there's more. These contracts often involve karmic relationships, souls you've encountered in past lives with unresolved issues to settle. The challenges you face aren't random. They are deliberate choices crafted to promote your growth, resilience, and wisdom.
One thing I've always wondered with reincarnation is, like, you keep coming back basically to like until the right time, I guess, until you get to a certain point. So are the lessons that we learn in this life right now that we're living right now, are those just lessons that we need to learn for the next life? And then so on and so forth? Because like, why don't we just live a life like forever, just one lifetime, and just learn every lesson that we need to learn in order to kind of hit the enlightenment, I guess, we need in order to no longer keep reincarnating and just be like this, like, I don't know, higher conscious being or something, like in, heaven or wherever. Why the lots of different lives? Just live one. Just live one for like millions of years, same life, with all that knowledge, and then just build upon that. It seems more efficient to me, anyway.
Now, the Illuminati are not humans. They're not just the richest family in the world. They are gods in human body. More or less the counterfeit of what Jesus Christ was when he was on the earth. They're the son and daughters of Lucifer in human body, and his wife and so on. So that this council that I was on is the private priesthood of those gods. And when those gods talk, the priests listen and the priestesses listen, then they tell political people. That's why a handful of witches have so much power over so many political people, because they're simply just like a tape recorder for some very powerful people that everybody else considers to be holy and to be God. It's a step-by-step plan beginning in 1973, first of the year, to the end of 1980, to take over the world by taking over the United States. Now, before you think that that's impossible, I've watched the news. over the past 5.5 years, and they're not only on schedule, they're a year ahead of schedule. And when I told people this 5 years ago, they thought I was crazy, like a lot of people think now. When I told them that we were supposedly not going to have any fuel, although we were going to have it, and that the gasoline prices were going to go sky high, I even told them a crazy story that the farmers were going to go on strike and the coal mines were going to close down. Now, 5 years ago.
Does anybody even deny it anymore? That there are people pulling strings? Like a very small few that are actually pulling the strings and trying to get things to a place that benefits them. I don't necessarily know or think that it's like spiritual warfare as far as like it being like a religious, like nefarious plan to like spread Satanism or whatever. I think it's more so just greedy people wanting to push things into a direction that benefits them, their family for generations to come, you know, control. I mean, you have enough money, nothing scratches that itch anymore, like buying cars, houses, yachts, whatever. Like it's not fun anymore. So then it's power, right? And that's why you have like Diddy, who does all that wild stuff to people because it's like power. And you have, you know, Jeffrey with the island. I don't know if I could say his name without getting flagged. It's just like power. Like all this sick shit people do is just like power because they have enough money and then they want control. It's all just like left for them. So I think it's just like what these like Rothschilds and all these other like big, long time, super mega rich families, they don't need anything else. Like nothing else scratches that itch for them. So they just need like more power. They need more and more and more. Or they're just like aliens and they're trying to harvest our souls and use us for slave labor and get the world in a place that benefits them by keeping us in our 9-to-5 hamster wheel daily activities that drains our energy and feeds them. But who knows? It can be, why not both? ¿Por qué no los dos, right? But that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If it's your first time here and you had fun, hope you had fun. I had fun. Like, subscribe, follow, share the video with some friends, join the Discord, send me videos that you want me to watch. You can also check out my SoundCloud, follow me on other socials like Instagram, TikTok, wherever. RIP TikTok. I hope you don't go away. I need you for content. Lucid Crew, welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you to all my subscribers, all my members that pay for the cool little tinfoil hat custom emojis to support the channel. You guys are great and the reason that I'm able to keep doing this. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, Lucid Crew, peace.